Good evening, everyone, respected educators. My name is Sakshi, and today we are going to have the welcome of the webinar. I welcome you all in this webinar CUCET Entrance Exam and International Education in India. I'd like to thank Mahindra University for supporting us in this webinar. I'd now like to introduce to our first panelist, which is Mr. Dr. Meduri, the Vice Chancellor of Mahindra University. Before going to the Mahindra University, Dr. Yajulu Meduri was the Vice Chancellor of Bennett University at Greater Noida, UP, while in the Bennett University. Dr. Meduri developed academic partnerships with Georgia Tech for engineering, Johnson Business, Cornell University for management, Cornell Law School for law, Babson College, USA for entrepreneurship, and others. Dr. Meduri has a BTech honors degree from IIT Kharagpur and did his MS and PhD in engineering mechanics from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, USA. Now, I would like to speak upon our second panelist, which is Mr. Jitin Chawla, an eminent career counselor, an MBA graduate from one of the most topmost business institutes of India, hello sir. Faculty of Management Studies, University of Delhi. Mr. Jitin Chawla is the founder and director of North India's topmost career counseling firm, which is the Center for Career Development located in Delhi. He is the member of National Career Development Association, United States of America, and actively participated in international conferences in various countries. Moreover, he is also an editorial advisor for TIGES, a journal published by Transitions Group USA. Now, I would like to give an introduction about our third panelist, which is Dr. Partha, an associate professor in the Department of Physics with 20 years of experience. Rosalind, a member of the Rosalind Fellow London Press, as well as an ex member of the Science Faculty. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, Sakshi, for the nice introduction. And I would again like to thank Mahindra University for supporting us in this webinar. Welcome, Dr. Maduri. This is a series of events we have done, people, and me and Dr. Maduri, we have been, addressing educators, students, counselors, principals, not only in India, even outside India also. I'm really delighted to be here, Dr. Maduri, with you. And Dr. Parthasati, welcome. Dr. Parthasati is a very senior person from Delhi University, and we'll take his comments also. So let me quickly start off. I can see a lot of educators also who have joined us. So a big welcome to all the principals, vice principals, counselors, headmistresses who have joined us. So quickly, before getting into this thing, a small PPT which I have prepared, I'll quickly take feedback. So I'll start with Dr. Meduri. Dr. Meduri, what do you think about CUET, the central test? It was there last year also, and I remember earlier also we discussed with a few principals. So what do you feel right now? Uh, I mean, it has kind of gone national, and a lot of big universities have joined in. So how would it impact the entrance of children into higher education? What are the long-term impacts and general comments about it?
Thanks, Jatin. Delighted to be on this panel with you again. And my first meeting with Dr. Parthasati, so my greetings to him also. My only response is our makers have this uncanny knack for finding solutions to existing problems that create even more problems. Okay. Uh, why create another national entrance test? It doesn't this thing. Why they're saying because the board marks cannot be are not correct because they're so inflated. So sort that problem out. Why do you want to create this additional problem of more examination with so many students have to sit for? They keep on shooting themselves in the foot. I'm sorry to say, but this is what is happening. So anyway, the coaching industry will boom now. There'll be more and more MCQs being provided for students to work on, because I was looking at the pattern of the CUET, which is going to be conducted sometime in July. You have two languages to be attempted, and then you got the domain subject, and then you have some more logical reasoning, etc. So I wish I was in the coaching industry. That's why it's the best time to actually make mega bucks. That's my initial comments, Jeff.
Absolutely. Dr. Pathasari, what do you feel about CUET and the impact it had? And you are at a university which is, so many students apply. I think lakhs of people apply. And then finally, I think about 56, 57,000 seats. And what do you think? What will be the impact? And overall, what do you feel about CUET as a system?
First of all, uh, I'd like to thank Jitinji for inviting me. Now, the thing is, you see, Dr. Yejulu might be right on few counts. I do not, disagree with him. But the thing is, you see, there is another aspect to it also. For example, let me tell you that 2 years ago, the SRCC seats were completely filled by one a section of students from Erode. Now, can you tell me that what happens to lakhs of other students who have their aspirations to learn or study in SRCC? Similarly, I am telling you, I have been involved in the admission process since 1998. Let me tell you that I am from Maharaja Agresene College. I teach physics, and what I have felt is that there is so much skewness in the board system, particularly after the Congress government came into picture. Kapil Sibal was made the HRD minister. That you see, what has happened is that there has been inflation of marks. Inflation of marks. When in 1990 I came to this university, in 82.5%, I got hold of each and every college in this in this university. But now what is happening? The seats are being filled by 98%, 99%. After 95%, the seats are all filled. You do not have now the student who has say 90%, feels ashamed of his marks. We have some come to such a state of affairs that those students who have 90% of marks tell us that, sir, we are good for nothing. Now you can imagine their
Dr. Saab, let me break in. See, what you're saying is absolutely correct. But there is nothing wrong with the admission process which is being used by Delhi University. The problem is with the board examination. So address
now the
that. Why do you want to address this now? That
no, the
remains.
problem is,
That remains. That
yeah,
is not going to change.
I understand, sir, but the thing is, how do you catch hold of, say, 29 boards in this country? Who will, who will you dictate to? The thing is, the problem is that this is a central university of national character. Now, the
Yeah,
thing
but
But
is,
yes,
if you have entrance examination, I am very sure that this entrance examination will act as a great leveler. This entrance examination will actually test, and this examination, what I have seen up till now, that this examination will not actually put a burden on the students. Why? Because there are two factors. First is, it is broken into, it has four subjects, it has four parts, and it is it has all these subjects which are mentioned. There are 29 subjects out of in which you can take this examination. Plus the thing is that if this is this there is only one entrance. For example, let me tell you, those who are seeking admission in BHU, aren't they giving examination? They are giving examination. Those who are seeking admission in other, there are several other universities where still there is an examination for entrance into undergraduate courses. Now the thing is, it has been replaced by a common entrance examination, in which is accredited by 45 universities. So if you take one examination, you can take admissions in 45 central universities of this nation. So the thing is, you see, There are problems, I am understanding it, that you say that coaching classes will mushroom. But the thing is that the coaching classes have their own limitations. The coaching classes, if the coaching classes were all that successful, let me tell you that all the CAs which are coming in this country, they will all come from Lakshmi Nagar in Delhi, where there is scores of coaching institutes. So coaching classes have their limitations. All the
Fair
all
enough. Fair enough. I think that's a fair point. So I think what I'll do is quickly share some basics also, and then we get into more of a discussion.
yeah.
So I think a fair point which we get both, I would say, for and against. I mean, it's a good way to start a debate. This thing, and yeah, I was invited to a TV show, and this was NDTV. I think 2 years back, when the SSCC admissions had happened, and this point was discussed about how, and the HRD ministry was trying to work out that how various boards can rationalize their marks, and there can be a common system by which one could understand. So there was some talk about it. I don't know on the ground how much of it has been done. So I think that point is there. Let me quickly introduce some basic facts, because a lot of participants here would like to understand that, and then we get into more of a discussion. Anju Chauhan, ma'am, home science syllabus of CUT and the current CBSE syllabus, we'll just check it out. But people keep on putting your questions on the side, and we'll keep on addressing them as we go around it. Review, if you can put a small PPT. I'll just show you a small, quick this thing, and then we get into a discussion. Next. Yeah, so CUT, I remember, so last year it was being called CUCET, and this year the name changed to CUET. So CUET, of course, there are things which are in favor, that it will provide a level playing field, and even from anywhere would be applying, and you can directly kind of be absorbed in so many universities all across. So that definitely is there, but of course the other side is also there. Next, please. So yeah. Uh, And of course, like last year we saw DU, there were cutoffs. I think 7 colleges start off with 100% cutoff. Now, for a student who's even getting 95%, it might look daunting that, hey, I didn't get 100%. In the current thing, people might prepare, though I feel currently 12th class is confused. Should I prepared for boards more? Should I prepared for CUT more? It has just opened up with them, and hence there seems to be a lot of confusion as of now. Competition preparation becomes more important, and even we help students as a company. We are helping students apply outside also, as well as help them with India. So when we help students with outside, so a SAT or any other test, lot of students take in 11th only. Yeah, so okay, some, maybe some at the beginning of 12th, and then that score is used for some time, like you can use that score for the next 2 years, or a score like GMAT can be used for the next 5 years. Yeah, so all those nuances probably will come in. It has just kind of started off, and with a major university like DU, even Ambedkar, even JNU using CUET, I think all those changes will happen. Next, please. CUT syllabus of accountancy has certain topics which are not, which are out of syllabus. So we'll just check that, and maybe Ria Singh is asking, do we have to choose subjects both in slot one and slot two? Yeah, you can choose a maximum of 9 subjects. I'll be covering that. So I'll be covering that this thing in. Okay, since you have asked, so let me talk about it. You can see the scheduling and slot scheduling also on the screen right now. It is a small screen, but I'll read it out for the benefit of everyone. So forms have already started. I mean, one can fill up the form. Last date is 6th May up to 11:50 p.m. Correction, they are yet to come out with the system for correction. Downloading again will be announced later on. The exams will happen in first and second week of July. The duration of the exam, slot one is 185 minutes, slot two is 225 minutes. Now in these slots, what Ria Singh you're asking, in these two slots, see, morning shift candidate may take up to 4 tests. Okay, one language test, section 1A, maximum two domain as in domain subjects, so that is section 2, and one general test. Yeah. Slot 2, candidate may take up to 5 tests, one language, section 1A or 1B, maximum 4 domain tests, or 2 language, again section 1A, section 1B, and maximum 3 domain tests from section 11, section 2, sorry, section 2. So I can maximum I can take 9 tests, that is one. But of course it depends. I mean, ideally I should think of which ones do I want to apply, and accordingly I will take my tests. If I'm limiting my choices to say 2 choices, then maybe I'll not need to take so many tests. But if I'm applying for a lot of subjects, diverse subjects, then I'll need to take I can take up maximum of 9 tests. So also the website will be displaying recorded responses and provisional answer keys also later on. Yeah. So specific tests like CUT syllabus accountancy is more, or this is more. I suggest you can just write to NTA. We are taking your feedback also, and separately we'll also submit the feedback which we are getting here to NTA. So I got a comment from Sona Singh. It's a welcome move and certainly end the rat race of marks. Fine, absolutely great. Next, please. So can you just make it slightly bigger, Rivu? So section, yeah, thanks. So section 1A, 13 different languages. Any of these languages can be chosen. 40 questions out of 50. Yeah. So largely reading comprehension, factual, literary, and narrative uh, kind of passages. So 45 minutes for this. Section 2 is domain specific tests. If you go on NTS website, you'll see all the domains being offered, and you can choose a maximum of 6 domains as desired by the university. So the university might say that I want the child to have taken test in this for this course. Okay. So 40 questions again to be attempted out of 50. And MCQs, like domain based tests, MCQs are based on NCRT syllabus only. Of course, some of you are saying that accountancy and home science, so we can check it up. I'll still need to check it up. Uh, and then, of course, section 3 is there, which is a general test. So 60 questions to be attempted out of 75. So general test is more like an aptitude test. So reasoning, numerical ability, quantitative reasoning. So these kind of areas are there. So it will be there for 60 minutes. Next. So this is how the organization of the test is. These are the domain specific subjects which can be taken: accountancy, biotechnology, business studies, chemistry, computer science, or even IP, eco or business economics, engineering graphics, geography, history, home science, and so on. So fine arts, visual arts, like a lot of schools have these also, theater, and so on. Of course, these in my this thing international schools, I have not seen so much of courses like for for Dharam Shastra or this one. I have not seen it so much, but the this thing has a provision for such courses also. University specific eligibility criteria reassessing would be happening. They would start coming now. So around Jan, we could hear Times of India had come out with that CUET would be used for admissions into DU. They somehow came out with an article, though the vice chancellor announced it later on. So I would imagine that university specific eligibility criteria would be rolled out anytime. So be connected with us, and I'll be doing another this thing, a video on my YouTube channel where we'll be talking about it. Is there any negative marking for wrong answers? Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Next, please. Okay, participating. Can you make it bigger, because I can't even. So a lot of top universities are participating in this. So right from okay, like from a Delhi university to Sikkim university to, so a lot of state universities are participating in this. Next, EFL is a pretty good university. EFL at Hyderabad. You can have 5-year courses from there in foreign languages, English, journalism, and so on. Next, please. So there's another list of, yeah, this is more clearer, I think. So right from a DU to BHU, AMU apparently is doing it selectively. So today there was again a comment. So all these things maybe will take about a month, month and a half for everything to settle down, because each university will work out a way, would think of what domain areas they should ask for specific honors courses or specific majors. You know. So again, University of Allahabad, Vishwa Bharati University, Assam University, Tripura University, Pondicherry, all over. Yeah. EFL, I have students who are studying there, and pretty good university for people looking at languages, communication, and so on.
Wrong answer. -1.
And right answer +4.
+5.
Next, I'll just tell you exact negative marking. It is -1, but I just checking once again. So more universities, as you can see across areas. Yeah, Anju Chauhan ji, you are asking about agriculture universities. So Dr. Rajendra Prasad Central Agriculture University is going to take CUET, and then you have so many central universities like Central University of Gujarat, Haryana. So a lot of central universities were started quite some time back, and they started by offering courses in management. They were offering courses in maths. They were offering courses in a couple of areas. I really see Central University Karnataka used to offer the combined test, and now of course CUT has opened up for everyone. Next, please. Central University of Kerala, Odisha, Punjab, Rajasthan, and so on. So definitely, I mean across Rajiv Gandhi National Aviation University, yeah, a big aviation university. National Sports University, as well as Central University of Andhra Pradesh, Central Tribal University. So all across. I mean, this is all across central universities as well as other universities which are going to consider CUET. Next. Okay, so NTA is the body which is connecting, which I'm sure all of us know by now. So NTA's website is the best information you can get. A lot of people, including people like me, we do YouTube videos. We come out with articles on it. In fact, I'm doing on Monday, this coming Monday, I'm doing a radio show on the same topic. So yes, it is there, but whatever new changes will happen, I think NTA's website is the place to go in for. So I would request all of you to keep on looking at NTA's website for further details, because there would be some changes, or at least procedurally you'll get to know things better. Uh, no, Sona Singh ji, CUET only would be accepted. Most of the universities might not have dual system, though they're still thinking. I think AMU, today's newspaper talked about AMU, but CUET is something which increasingly is being considered. That's the way the winds are blowing. If you see newspapers every day, I think uh, we are seeing more and more acceptance. I was discussing with the Ambedkar University senior people, and 15 days back they were considering their own test versus CUET, but now yesterday everything was finalized, and CUET is the test they'll be going in for. So things like those. So that's the way wind is blowing. That is what we get from the system. So on this point, uh, Dr. Maduri, any quick comments on how your university is looking at this, and I mean, how does it help the students in any ways in which you can uh, consider?
Jitin, for our engineering courses, we use the JEE main scores. We have been using it for the last 7, 8 years, and we'll continue using it because I think JEE is an absolute gold standard for the engineering part of it.
Absolutely.
The law entrance, law admissions, we use the CLAT and the LSAT scores, which again CLAT is a national law test conducted across this thing. That's why.
Right.
It's only for our undergraduate management. We already started the admissions. The CUET announcement came rather late. Okay. But then the problem which now comes about is that Even if you get on and say you want to use CUET, and I'm told that CUET cannot be used only for one program; it will have to be used across the board. That creates a problem where we want to stick with certain entrance exams for our admissions. That's why. Okay. Um, my only question which I again raise is, see, JE roughly around 11 12 lakhs, NEET is roughly around 16 17 lakhs. This is going to be a bigger exam, because you're covering so many universities, so many disciplines, so many courses across the board. That means you're going to have maybe students running into 80 90 lakhs, or maybe 1 crore or something sitting for this exam. Okay. So let's see how this year goes. If it works out, my suggestion would be, I don't know how other people would be, that for we should have 3 or 4 main entrance exams rather than a multitude of other examinations taking place. Okay. For engineering, stick with the JEE. For medicine, now NEET is mandated. For the other university, whole this thing, let's use CUT. If it succeeds, there's no problem at all. So student knows there's 3 4 exams he or she will have to attempt depending upon what further higher education they're looking at in the system. That's why. I mean, I do understand what Dr. Parthasathy has pointed out about the problems which a major university, Delhi University, is one of the. I mean, I've stayed in Delhi for 50 years, so I know the impact of Delhi University. That's why Delhi University is the biggest university one looks at from the Indian context. So obviously, any admission out there has to be in a systematic and very transparent manner. I know what he was referring to about the Kerala board, where so many students had 98, 99 percentile plus, and so they flooded the Delhi University system. But I'm sure that there'll be other ways of working around it. But if it's determined that this is the way forward, then this is the way forward. But as I said again, and I mean, for this year, I think students have been hit with it at a very late stage. They're into board exams, they're studying for it. All of a sudden, they're told you have to sit for the common CUET, and the whole testing methodology is different. It's multiple choice questions, various domains, various languages, logical reasoning. So they'll have to at least put in some effort to look at how this exam is going to be, the format and the test papers, etc. Okay, so it encourages other forms of education to come into the system. That's why. Hmm.
Great, great. So I think yes, a lot of 12 students, and when I'm counseling over here, and people coming to our office who are just going to write their board exams and the next term of the board exam. So everyone is like, should I look at CUET? Should I look at boards more? So my stance is that, look, if you're spending every week, suppose you're spending say 40 hours for board preparation, for example. So I would suggest that maybe you can budget. Maybe you can take out 5 hours, you could give it 35 hours, and keep 10 hours. Create additional 5 hours and keep 10 hours for competitive preparation. Yeah, because the competitions also, a lot of aptitude tests would not take so much time. I have spoken to a lot of coaching institutes also to understand. So unlike the JE or NEET, where you have to digest a lot of content, in the CUT system, the general test or the aptitude test, where like a lot of basics is being talked about. One, it's a test of life. How a child has been, say, on English, or on mathematics, or on reasoning. Yeah. Of course, some training would be useful and important, and I see a lot of coaching institutes, they've already started launching advertisements and so on. But I also feel strongly that it can be done by the students themselves. So and some schools also have been very active from earlier on in even reasoning classes, or faster mathematics. So even if not, then there are a couple of books available. A very popular book, for example, I remember Verbal and Non-Verbal Reasoning by R.S. Agarwal, or
Yeah,
Quantitative Aptitude by the same author. Yeah, and then so if I am a student, I could just take up these books, and some of you, if you want, I'll write a couple of books, and which I keep on suggesting to students. There are online players who have already put basic aptitude tests online, so these can be taken up, and the student can just start playing around with this side by side, you know and kind of be better prepared than a lot of other people. So that is what I would think. Yes, for students and parents it's difficult because everyone was like gunning for marks, which also may not have led them to colleges which they were thinking of. But as of now, they will have to kind of take out some time from there and put it into aptitude training also, so that they can attempt. But yes, for domain subjects, it's absolutely fine. You are already preparing for 12th. You keep on preparing for it. Yeah. So
You're the
Dr.
master
Parthasarathi,
counselor,
yeah,
Jatin. You're the master counselor.
thank you, sir.
uh,
Dr. Parthasarathi, any quick
yeah,
comments on what is your advice to students who are just going to give the 12th
my
exam?
advice, first thing that I want to tell all the students is that this is a golden chance for you. All the students who think that marks is not the sufficient and the only necessary and the sufficient criteria to judge a person, to judge the ability of a person, for them this is the golden chance. You should, take this chance by heart. Let me tell you, this is only for only, seeking your what you can say, the knowledge that you have gained in class 12th only, not even in class 11th. And this is your golden chance. If you are preparing for JEE, or if you are preparing for any other courses, and you are not, actually putting much effort into board examinations, for them also it is a golden chance. You should, take this chance and prove that marking system in this country is all skewed. And your abilities, if you are, attempting this, you just have to take the NCRTs. You just have to note down all the concepts. Please do not mug up. You just note down all the concepts. I think you will all fare very well. For example, not only in the science subjects but also in the art subjects, the assertion reasoning, everything, that you do it by heart. I am sure that, you will be able to beat those students who we are getting 99%, and who do not have the requisite, mandate to, study that subject. Let me tell you very, very frankly, this is a golden chance for all those students who think that injustice has been served to them by just, making marks as a yardstick of their talent. So this is a very, very, this is a, I can say, moment of inflection for us in education system. Second, what I want to tell you is, I just want to point some important things. The first is, no minimum age bar. Earlier you used to have minimum age bar. No minimum age bar is there. Second, no gap year bar is there. There is no handicap for gap year. Third, it is based on class 12th NCRT examinations, not class 11th also is excluded. So this is those students who are preparing for other examinations, entrance examinations, need not worry. Just, have clarity of subject. You will, I am sure that you will be, doing much better than others. Then it will be, computer based test. I am very, very sure that those students who find language as handicap, that is also there for them also. There is a This is a golden chance to get entrance into premier universities like Delhi University, and you will be, treated at par with your talent. This is a very, very important thing. Then, I am let me clarify about the general test. What I feel is that this general test is the test that the universities are already taking for some of the courses. For example, let me tell you, Delhi University is taking an entrance test for BBA. It is also taking an entrance test for BBE. So now, instead of taking those tests, this you are having the fourth module where you will be taking the general test. So the general test, I think, is mandatory, is not mandatory. I think only those students have to take for which the university was already taking the examination, and in entrance examination. So it can be mandatory for some of the subjects, I do not know, but I think that for students who were for example BBE or BBA students, or there are many other courses for which the entrance examination based on this pattern was already there. I think the general test is mandated only for them. हो सकता है there may be a domain specific also. And the second third thing that I want to tell you is that suppose you have a biochemistry degree subject. Now you instead of biochemistry you have to take biology. So don't be afraid. You can always choose a domain subject which is very very closely related to your subject. So please don't panic on it. You all the domain subjects that are there which is not mentioned here, you can always choose a domain subject which is closely related to your subject. So that is very very important, because I have seen many people are telling me that my domain subject is not there. So for them I am telling you, please see those subjects which are very closely related to your domain subjects. You can take multiple tests. This is also what I am telling you. This is people are not clear about it, but you can take multiple CUET tests. You are given the freedom to choose 6 subjects. So you can take multiple tests. For example, those who want to cross the stream bar. For example, science students who are crossing the you want to cross over to arts or for to commerce, you can take multiple subjects. For example, suppose maths is compulsory, then you if you have studied maths in class 12, then you can take a combination and take an examination where that multiple subject can be that is essential for admission to that course. You can take it separately also. So multiplicity of taking test is also very very important. So
Great.
please, I am this is my advice to students. This
Yes.
do not take it as an handicap. Do not take it as a new take it as a challenge. And this is a golden opportunity for all the students who think that injustice has been served to them only because of the fact that they have not scored in their board examinations.
Right. Right. So great, great. Thanks a lot for this. And Anju Chauhan, students under too much pressure with boards as they want to apply abroad. I think all through life we we keep on going through some stress or the other. So it's absolutely fine. I mean, of course, we can try and elevate if it is going beyond a certain point. Most of the schools, even the government has a council system in place. And yes, I was speaking to a student today who is studying at Waterloo, but she's not able to continue. Kind, she wants to leave because of the academic pressure. So if they want to go to world's top universities, they would kind of need to face the word also by themselves. Uh, but yes, I do agree that there can be ways in which we can help them with their time management, with their self motivation, helping them. Parents can help with removing their distractions so that things can happen. Dr. Medri, you were making a point. Please.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a point, because after all, we're talking, you raised this thing about international education and students going abroad, etc. By
Yes.
making comment that we are introducing CUT because our board marks are so skewed, we're sending a very wrong message to the outside world that even we don't rely on our board evaluations, that they're so skewed that a major university like Dr. Parthasathy in Delhi University says, no, I will not accept what Kerala board does or Karnataka board does or what even Delhi board does now. Okay. Okay. I mean, there are arguments for pro and against the reasoning. So let's not get into that. But and I don't want to say, I'm not saying, but I thought Doc sitting here has done an absolute research into the CUET, because what you have told us is so confusing that there's so multitude of this thing which you can take. If you have done this, you can actually take something which is very close by. I mean, Dr. Parthasarthi, at your level, you're able to gauge this. Can you imagine a student who is going to take a 12th standard board exam? What pressure is he going to get through to sort of start signing up for CUET? It's very confusing. That's what I wanted to point out. And I think you
Yeah.
have laid it out. You have done fantastic research. And I think what you have actually explained is in great depth about how to attempt the CUET in so many formats, etc. But for a young girl or boy who has to take an exam, there is no straightforward way in this the CUET which the National Testing Agency has devised in its wisdom. Okay, I mean, I think we're just putting too. I've been looking at the comments of our principals and counselors in this show. We're putting too much pressure on these young minds, and just coming out of the pandemic, just coming out of the pandemic. That's why.
So I also feel that I was seeing board marks last year, and again, since we float in the same arena, so I saw a lot of people getting amazing marks in spite of like in spite of the schools not saying that they would get those so much. So one of my students, and I obviously I can't name him here, and he has gone abroad, and I have only sent him. I mean, we were all shocked with the kind of marks he got, and they were like so positive that it just changed the entire thing. So I think board overall last year they were very generous in giving marks, though I speak more for North India and Gulf where I've been kind of working with the students, but other areas I might be blissfully unaware of. But Dr. Parsasati, you are coming out with a
Yeah.
immediate point.
I'll just
I'll
pop in
just
one. I'll just pop in one doc. I'm not talking about the CUET. I'm saying last year everybody was generous in giving marks in every
Everyone,
exam
yeah, yeah,
across.
you know for education system to flop, you can tinker with two things: the syllabus and the examination system. So the day I told my students and my colleagues, the day the tinkering started, at some ministers at him, I told that now this system is going to flop, and now we will be seeking in 7 to 8 years a new system which has some credibility left. You see, in the education system, can you imagine that in 10 days you are devising a syllabus? In you are giving plethora of marks. I do not want to tell you, but there are instances where we check papers and we get some certain marks, and when we check in their final examination results, they are entirely different. So see, the thing is, what I mean to say is that the political system must not interfere into into the education process. Let it be handled by the teachers, let it be handled by academicians. If you tinker with it it is going to fall flat. That we are seeing it now. We are witnessing a total breakdown of the board system in India. Let me tell you very, very frankly. And so the NTA or the present board or the present government has to induce some credibility into our system. Let me tell you, this is not done, this is done under duress by the government to induce certain credibility into our board system. Otherwise, if a board allows all the most of the students to have 99% or of exam enter 99% in their examinations, how do you feel that this will have any credibility left? There is no credibility. So now we have come to a stage where we have to do this CUCET, and then you have to inject certain credibility into our system. Second is, this is my
Doc,
advice to
Doc,
NTA.
sorry. Doc, sorry. I mean,
This
I just want to say perfectly fine what you're saying, but how is CUET going to change the marking system in the board? It won't change it. Even
no
even
no
even when the CUET starts, you'll still get 99 percentile in boards. You're not changing that, right?
Yeah,
That you're
yeah,
not
yeah,
going to answer.
because
And I
because
would
you
request
see.
you. I would request you. Let's not bring politics into the discussion. Let's not bring politics into the
Okay,
discussion, please.
but
It
the
is.
thing
absolutely.
is,
It's
okay,
not correct.
perfect. But the thing is, see, board system cannot be changed, but it is, basically made superfluous. Now if you have 99% in board examinations and you cannot clear CUCT, then naturally that is of no use. So it is actually made
So
it has been made superfluous. So the thing is, this
a
is
small
another
point
thing.
on this, a small point on this. So still, as I see, still it is evolving. So it is not that
Yeah,
all the universities might not have used it, and also see, universities might use multiple tests like JE for a lot of exams, for a lot of
yeah,
subjects, or NEET, or CLAT, and so on. So I think the system is still evolving. Both have their own places under the sun. But yes, CUET brings about a change in the way that I would give this. And as of now, there are so many universities which are open up for me, which have opened up for me. So definitely, this is something which a lot of students will look forward to. Uh, and we'll quickly take some questions. There was one question about domain subjects. So there are 27 domain subjects which are being offered under Section A, and a candidate can choose maximum of six.
six.
And I can combine it with the language this thing. And input text can be used for MCQ based questions also. And MCQs are based on syllabus given on NTA website. Yeah. Today morning, Indian Express, all the newspapers also came out with that Ambedkar University is also accepting CUET scores. So that is where we stand. Uh, Okay, now quickly, let's also understand. I think we had a good discussion of CUET and we discussed both for and against, and we were to highlight good points on either side. Let's quickly understand about international education also. We as an organization, we also help students, and I network with a lot of people who are, and even universities, have programs which are twinning programs and so on. So, on the international front, I feel uh, of course, I mean CUET notwithstanding, but on the international front, marks are important. So my students who are going to go outside, and already they have got admits, like conditional admits already are there, right from Berkeley to Columbia to Cornell or University of Toronto, UBC across the world. Now these people would need to score marks. If they are clear that they're going outside, then of course their focus can be boards. They get marks and they build up. Whereas in case they are looking at both the option, they're looking at the Indian option as well as outside option, then it is a slight challenge because they are looking at marks also. In fact, their predicted marks has already gone to the universities. So in that way, the university has given you a conditional offer based on your predicted marks that you'll get 95% or 93 or 90 or whatever, 80, 85. So as a student, I would need to get those marks to kind of avail of that offer with a minimum of maths in some cases, and so on. So uh, our endeavor should be, again, if the student can clearly think that okay, I'm maybe 70% abroad and 30% India, or 60% India, 40% abroad, then maybe I can make those choices easier. The challenge is when the student says, look, I'm 50%, 50%, or the student and parent, they're both kind of at loggerheads whether to look at outside or in India. So international education, people who are looking at it, again, need to be guided about it, that how they can plan and maybe look at both or more onto one side. Yeah, the moment they are more onto one side, it becomes much more clearer for them. Dr. Medina, what would you say about international education? Also, please share what is happening at Mahindra University. What kind of steps Mahindra University has taken or is taking to internationalize education?
Thank you, Jitin. I think international education now is a very important aspect of a student's education career. I think the number of students going from India overseas, especially to the US market, I think the latest figures actually reflect that the Indian student percentage in US has increased by around 12%. I think that was what the figure of today was. Okay. Because a lot of students, I think, and parents also take the viewpoint that If we are not able to get into an institute of our choice in India, then why unnecessarily look at other options? Let's uh, look westward or eastward and go in and study at a place which is more appealing. Okay, there are the rationalities involved in this decision, but it reflects their overall choice at the end of the day. Okay, at Mahindra University, and I think Doc is listening also, because we are a nascent university. I think one of the aspects which we push a lot is our international linkage. So on the engineering side, we're linked up to the Central Group in France, which is equivalent to the IITs. In the management school, we have a fantastic tie-up with the Cornell University, their College of Business, which works with us in curriculum and faculty. In fact, we had a faculty from Cornell who's just flown back today evening, and he spent the complete week teaching a 15-hour module to our first-year undergraduate students. Okay, in the law school, we're looking for a linkage with a UK-based university, because that will give Indian law is very closely aligned to UK law. That's what the major focus is on. Okay, so I think in a way we are providing our students with an avenue to look at spending a summer term or spending a complete semester. And because at the end of the day, what I believe is that a student going abroad for any amount of time into any overseas university, it changes their perspective. They start looking at things in a different way altogether. Okay, the culture is different there, the way they work is different there, so the students looks at that, and then so it sort of assimilates it and comes back to India, and I think it helps them at the end of the day to deliver a better performance back in the Indian system which he or she is studying in. That's why. Okay.
Great, great. Dr. Madhu, thanks. I think that I just to understand. Is there a form of an exchange program also available where a student can spend like 6 months outside or some months outside during the course of the program?
Yeah,
Okay.
we have come up with that, especially in engineering. We are now working with Central to identify specific semesters the student can go and study there. Of course, the lopsided this thing is, the odd side this thing is, it has to be in French. But that's why we are teaching French to all our engineering students on campus. We made it a compulsory subject. But even in the other disciplines, I think we are giving the opportunity for students to spend a complete semester or even a complete year in this thing. But it's not for a dual degree or any this thing like that. We are not doing that, do 2 years here and do 2 years there. I actually don't subscribe to that argument. I think we
Fair.
are good enough to provide for the complete 3 or 4 or 5 years of education, but maybe a semester or a year abroad will help the student to look at things in a different perspective, as I said.
So some students also ask that, hey, we have got exposure outside and we have been trained in India also, done good internships, research. So they visualize students even getting jobs abroad directly, or is it more in India and then they might move anywhere in the world?
No, I think it's not as easy to get a job abroad, especially in these different conditions. I mean, if you are educated there, then you get the work visa for on the job training, or OTP as they call it in various countries, etc. Even for our students who go to France to spend time, it's not that easy to get to land up a job in France. But we've had roughly around 70 to 80% hit strike rate, where students have stayed back and are doing very well there in the French system. That's why. End of the day, I think it's all up to a student's initiative. The more this thing they display, the more initiative on their part, then they're able to something or the other actually works out. That's why.
Great, great. So coming back, Dr. Parsasati, since you are, you are teaching physics, so I saw in between also some people were asking. So, what do you think? Like, where are physics people going, and what is happening in STEM in terms of career choices? What is it that students are liking? What are they doing subsequently?
I'm sorry, I was mute. Well,
Yeah,
you see, uh,
yeah.
in physics, actually, not only in physics, in the entire science branch, we have seen a proliferation of multi there are disciplines which are now you cannot even categorize them. For example, uh, suppose you are taking photonics, then the photonics is, if I say it is physics, then there are many people from chemistry background, they will say no, no, it is chemistry. So there is actually a multidisciplinary approach now is very, very essential in science, for example, and that too in cutting edge technologies. For
So I'll
example, if
just I'll just add on. So I also did physics honors. I did it at Hansraj College, and I was very clear by the end of my second year that I would move away, and I shifted to MBA. I did my MBA from
yeah,
FMS Delhi. So I mean, I think and I saw a lot of my batchmates, and of course some went on and are outside and so on.
for example,
So
the problem what is happening is that the subject, the discipline specific is thinning out. The
right,
discipline specificity of a subject is thinning out. Now you are having multidisciplinary approach, and
great,
we have to design courses based on this. And in the west, if you see, if you go to MIT, or if you go to Princeton, or even to Berkeley, they are now devising courses which are multidisciplinary. And though it is being handled by a particular department, that doesn't mean that it is only based on that department. It
absolutely,
is multidisciplinary. For example, maths and physics, even biology and physics, statistics and physics, everything now is multidisciplinary. And there are certain, most of my students, I am telling you, at least 8 to 10% of my students are going out.
absolutely,
They are going, yeah, after doing MSc, or even after doing graduation also, people are moving out. After
absolutely,
doing MSc, or people are moving out. And people are moving out for their jobs also. But the
that's
thing
true,
is that for studies, higher studies, particularly after MSc, there are several takers of for PhDs in this, in the foreign universities, particularly UK and US. They are the most, and Germany also now. They are
absolutely.
most favored destinations of all these students. So this
Great,
is
great, great,
one
great. I
aspect.
think that's a great this thing you've added. Thanks a lot. And I'll just quickly take some questions. And if you feel that we should add, Dr. Madhuri, Dr. Pasati, please add. Anju Chauhan says for other entrance exam, students get 2 years to prepare for NEET, JE. Yeah, I mean CUT just immediately was dropped on all of us, so I think they have less time. But I think it's also basic aptitude test and 12th class syllabus, which will be used for domain specific subjects. So I think that you're already working on basic aptitude. Yes, they can build up much faster. Just to give you an example, if I have to prepare for JE, maybe I'll be digesting say 6,000 pages. Whereas if I'm preparing for a general aptitude test, I might have to digest maybe 500 pages. Yeah. So there's a difference in the content to be uh, digested, so to say, and it will also depend on certain things like what are my reading habits like basic numeracy, numerical ability like. So if those are good, I might not take so much time to prepare. Generally, coaching for a lot of exams like a management and others would happen for 1.5 2 months, unlike an engineering coaching which would be for 2 years or in some cases 4 years or more so now. Yeah. So that is one. Details of the syllabus, Anju Chauhan, you can just find it on NTA's website. All the details are there on NTA's website of the syllabus. Everything is available on NTA's website. If you want anything specific, just let us know. I'll ask my team to open it up right now. Next, please. I'll just complete. I think there are 2 3 slides which were left. Next, please. Vibhu. Yeah. So if I was a student or as a counselor, as an educator, I would definitely ask the student to explore the CUET syllabus, draw up a timetable like I did speak of earlier. Even if a student is able to allocate say 10 hours per week or even lesser, let's say 1 hour per day, 1 hour per day. Yeah, if I'm able to allocate that time, I'm good. I would prepare better. And see, it's a situation that everyone is in the same boat. It is not that some students have been singled out. Everyone is in the same boat, so you would have everyone is preparing for boards and would write CUT. That's it. So some practice can help and being positive. Next, please. Shubh Sharma, we'll just check this. CUT syllabus of physics and chemistry includes class 11 topics because Everywhere we are seeing class 12th, but we can just check this. Some of you might be seeing us for the first time. So we keep on interacting with students. We are a 21-year-old organization. We have done more than 28,500 workshops and a lot of schools we are engaged with. Yeah. Next. So, Shubh Sharma, if you can just see again NTI's website, you'll see what is happening. So, we feel it is class 12th only. We just checked up on the website. One of my team members is here. Dr. Vikram Soni is here with me. So, he's just checked it out. It is 12th class only. Sanvi, yes, we can prepare it on. I'll give you a good tip. If you want to prepare for general aptitude, logical reasoning, and so on, one can go on sites like Adda 24/7. They've got a lot of online content, good content. I can also do a slight this thing. Khan Academy provides SAT training. Now in SAT training also reasoning comes. Yeah. So even if as a student, so till the time CUET kind of gives us more sample papers and all, till that time we can play around with this. Basic reasoning, this thing will remain the same. I also spoke about some books like Verbal and Non-Verbal Reasoning by R.S. Agarwal, uh, Quantitative Aptitude by the same author, or Arihant Publications also gives the same thing. Okay, even some websites like Careers 360, they are providing free download of last year papers, CUCT papers. So you can check out Careers 360 website, even Shiksha's website. Site address, okay, Sona Singh, I'll just review if you can write it down, Careers 360 and shiksha.com. Guys, you can see on the screen. So we have been sending students to, like, we have recommending students to various places. Next, I mean, our admits are all across. Next, please. Next, please, Rebu. Yeah, all across the world. In fact, so this year, I mean, we've got admits in Cambridge, Cornell. We've got admits in Stanford, University of Toronto, Canada. Oh, more than 40 admits in University of Toronto and UBC Vancouver, and so on. Next, please. Oh, we keep on doing a lot of unique webinars. So this is a webinar I'm doing with a friend of mine. I met her during IAVG meet in Europe. I was at Bratislava. So Helena Pechova has been working for last 5 years as a career counselor. So we are talking about personal branding. Very, very important, not only for students, but even for all of us as professionals. That how do you use your LinkedIn profile? How do you build it up? What are the basics of networking? And of course, building up a CV, which a lot of students keep on asking. So do attend. This is open for everyone, and you can find it on our social media. So you can find it on my YouTube channel or other places. You can just find a link, and I'll ask Ribu also to send it across to you. So we have been supported by Mahindra University, and we have been doing number of sessions with them, and we will be doing some sessions physically also, as in not only online. uh, we are enthused by the kind of new courses which have been launched. If you see their management courses, you'll realize there are an amazing array of courses, right from business analytics to fintech and so on. So, Professor Madhuri, you can highlight a couple of courses which Mahindra University has come out with. Uh, so guys, we try to bring you the best and the latest. And CUT was a big change which was happening, and hence this webinar. Any other questions you can ask? I think already we have finished off with our time, 1 hour. But any quick questions, you can just be in touch with us, or you can ask right now. Dr. Madhuri, some innovative courses at Mahindra University. If you can quickly highlight, please.
Yeah, I think I'll take off from what Dr. Parthasati said. Nowadays, the name of the game is interdisciplinary courses, and so in the management side, as you pointed out, we have a BBA on computational business analytics, which is building on the computing side along with analytics, and then we have a very unique course on digital technologies, not digital marketing. It's actually application of technology to the digital side. And then we have an economics and finance course because I think BA economics by itself is missing out now. Finance is getting included with economics. On the engineering side, I think interdisciplinary programs like nanotechnology, mechatronics, computer aided structural engineering, we're going into a whole depth of courses which span, which sort of crisscrosses across departments in the School of Engineering. That's why. But Jitin, I think I'm very pleased to be with you. We've been interacting with you. At least I've been interacting with you for the last couple of years now, and just amazed at the your breadth and depth of the overall system. That's why. And I'm delighted to interact with Dr. Parthasarthi and look forward to catching up with him before, because he's a physicist and one of my best friends out here, Professor Bishnu Pal, who is my dean. He spent 35 years in
Oh,
physics at the IIT Delhi. And that's why. Okay. Doc, that's
thank you,
okay.
Dr. Madhuri, for
Thank
thank you for
thank
being here, and thank you for appreciation. And Dr. Parthasati, you had a quick comment, so I think we have a quick comment from you, and then close the session. Thank you.
First of all, I'll be congratulating Mahindra University for the wonderful courses they have designed. I am, I wish that such courses could have been designed in Delhi University also. We have given several proposals, but we know the proposals are still hanging
Yes.
in the university system. And the second thing is that I will be delighted if I have been called to Mahindra University in any of the lectures or to deliver a lecture, because I am working in photonics and I am also working in plasmonics, and I am also working in quantum mechanics, particularly in dark matter and dark energy. And the thing is, second thing is that I am very very thankful to they for inviting me to this thing. And one there was one question, that why you have a general test for BA program syllabus and not for honor syllabus. Let me tell you that in BA program syllabus there is no specific discipline. You have to choose among the disciplines, so there cannot be a common you cannot have a domain specific test there. So you are having a general test in BA program, and it is also general test in I think other BA BSc program also. So let me be very clear about it. And I say that then I just want to my best of luck goes to all the students who are taking CUET examinations. Please
Yeah.
don't panic. Please give your best efforts. Please don't panic, and try to be very very specific in what you learn and what you seek in your textbooks. Do not take rote learning as your medium. You just try to understand the concepts. You will be doing fine, and you will be admitted to Delhi University. I am very sure that some of them I will be seeing you in Delhi University. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thanks a lot, Dr. Parthasati. Thank you, Dr. Madhuri. It was an amazing discussion, and
you.
I also wish all the counselors, principals, teachers, all the best in guiding the students, and any students who are here. I really wish you good luck. And all the parents keep on saying there's no substitute to hard work, but I would say that you should do smart work also. Plan out things from today onwards. Plan, you are going to give CUET, portion some time for it, and you will be, maybe you can sleep less for 1 hour. As it is, a lot of young people feel at night you are awake. So instead of Instagram and other stuff you keep on doing, just maybe slight focus on CUET, and definitely you'll it's not going to be that difficult. And I see you guys getting good marks as well as good scores on CUET also. I wish you all the best. Thank you. Thank you.